Good afternoon all, and thank you for joining us today here at 4:35 on a lovely Thursday afternoon with our mortgage broker. So I'm Akhil, the specialist mortgage broker. We are joined by Ian from Avocado Property. Nice to see you, Ian.
How are we doing?
Very well, thank you. And for those of you that are seeing us, I've been on Ian's channel numerous times, and likewise, Ian's been on our channel as well on Facebook and YouTube as well. So do catch us up. Do catch up on those videos when you have some time going forward. We're also joined by Ellen, who's a new recruit to Avocado Property as a new partner. Welcome, Ellen.
Hi, thanks for having me.
No, it's a pleasure. It's nice to see you. It's nice to see a nice friendly face. A bit bored of Ian now, to be honest with you. So that's all good. How are you finding things, Helen?
Yeah, really good actually. It's a nice welcome change.
Perfect. We'll deep dive into why and how and all that came about shortly. Thank you. So, ladies and gents, we're going to be talking to Ian and Ellen from Avocado, discussing all things estate agency, how they're finding the market, where they see the market heading, and what you can do furthermore to better your investments or your house purchases going forward. So just working smarter. So we've got the two professionals in the estate agency world. So if you're watching this on Facebook or YouTube, thank you for joining us. Do leave your comments in the post box. We will see those comments come up with any questions, and we'll try our best to answer those questions where possible. But again, if you're watching this on a playback, again, we will leave the contact details for Ellen and Ian and myself. So we'll do our best to answer those for you as well. So do leave those questions. I've got some questions lined up for Ian and Ellen. Are you ready, guys?
Go for it. Always ready.
Good. Lovely. So Ian, tell us how Avocado Property came about and why did you create a phenomenon?
So stripping it right back to how it came about was, so I got made redundant first and foremost. I was at a fairly senior level at a traditional model estate agency. But prior to that, I really had a bit of an issue with estate agency, the industry, the reputation that it had. And I'd got a little bit fed up over 16 years of introducing myself as my profession and being a little bit embarrassed about it, to be honest with you. So when my little one was born, who is going to be 5 on the 1st of July, so 5 years ago, just things change morally and you just feel a little bit differently, you work a bit differently. So the principle around this business was to create something that she was going to be proud of when she's older. And to do that, you had to do estate agency in a very different way to how it's done at the moment. So that's why we went from navy suits to pink hoodies, in a nutshell.
Yeah, and you know what? It's a pleasant change actually seeing some pink hoodies, and you guys are making a lot of noise here in Berkshire, and all I'm seeing is pink boards going up and down, and I'm seeing these lovely pink hoodies. Where's yours, Ellen?
I know, it's been a bit warm the last couple of days. But yeah, fear not, I'll be out and about in that soon enough.
That sounds good, and I've seen your videos, Ellen, already in Ascot, in my home ground.
Yeah.
You're making a lot of noise in Ascot with Sanjay, your partner. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, so again, kind of stripping it back, Sanjay and I used to work together coming up for 5-6 years ago now. Similar sort of ethos in the way we'd like to do things, always kind of, hearing you're not your traditional estate agent. And it just sort of came the right time for me to join Sanjay and what he's doing. Ascot is somewhere we both know really well. He grew up there. I used to work there many years ago. So it's nice to come back to an area that we know we really like. And yeah, just to kind of take that by storm, shake it up a bit. There's a lot of traditional high street agents there. I think there's room for someone to come and shake it up for sure.
No further talk needed. Now I'm looking forward to it, and it's nice to see you around again as well. So it's nice to see. For those of you that are joining us now, I am joined by Ian and Ellen from Avocado Property, who are a local estate agency here in Berkshire. They've also got many other partners who we're going to touch upon within London and the home county. So we'll ask Ian and Ellen a bit more about that. Ian, what sets you apart from your competition?
I think there's two key things that I always talk about when anyone asks that question. The first point is you're only dealing with a business owner. So you get that quality of care from someone that cares about their own reputation, their own business, and very experienced. But not just you deal with that business owner entirely. It's from start to finish. So with most traditional models, there's departments involved and call centres and inexperienced agents that you'd have to touch point with. With us, you don't. You just deal with the business owner from start to finish. So when you meet that person at the beginning, that's the person doing the viewings when you've spent an hour with them, kind of explaining to them exactly the key points of the property, the marketing they want portrayed. And then the same comes to the negotiating of the offer and the legal transaction. So that's the first thing that's really different. And the second thing is the marketing. Agents really have done the same marketing ever since the iPhone came out. It's not really been much different. 6 to 8 photos, floor plan, and that's about it. A bit of blurb on the internet. Whereas with us, we do a really immersive video, a bespoke social media targeted campaign for each client, and then everything that another agent does, from Zoopla, Rightmove, all the way through to the portals. So more personal service and better quality marketing are the two things that I would say set us apart from the rest.
No, that's very well said, and I can certainly vouch for Ian and Mike at Avocado, because I engaged with them as a local agent to let out my what was my family home, which was phenomenal. And for those of you that haven't seen that video, do log back into Avocado's library of lettings, and there's a great video that they did for our family home, and I think within 3 working days, and we had numerous offers on as well at the same time. So thank you for that, and yeah, great service. That's what I would definitely say. Ellen, tell us a bit more about your background. Are you a sales agent, a lettings agent, or you got a hat on both sides?
Yeah, well, lucky for me, I've done it all, so to speak. I started off in lettings over in East London, actually, way back in 2012. And then when I moved back out this way and got into sales, I started in Sunningdale. And then most recently, the position I've held was looking after the new homes department for an estate agent in Wokingham, covering the Berkshire area. So I'm quite fortunate that I've dipped my toe in all those different areas. I mean, I even did 6 months in property management, but we'll skip past that. Won't be going back there.
That's good. But you've got to play to your strengths, right? You've got to play to your strengths. You've got to know where your weaknesses are. And we've all got weaknesses, let's be honest with one another. But what we need to be doing, and what we do collectively, is as professionals, we work together. And that's the ethos that we promote here at OMB as well. We want to work with like-minded people and to do the right thing by our clients. So without the estate agency, we as mortgage brokers are not going to do applications. And without the finance side, estate agents are not going to sell properties. So it's in everyone's interest to work collectively for the better of our clients. And a happy client is a happy business owner, like we all are as independent professionals in the industry. So that's good to see. Good to see. Questions. What should a homeowner consider before appointing an agent to market their property, Ian?
I think each homeowner has to do a little bit of fact finding, because we're talking about a hugely valuable asset, but put that to one side. We're talking about one of the most stressful things you can do. Moving home, especially from your family home when there's an emotional connection, it can be really challenging. It's not as straightforward as, right, we're just going to move next week. You're talking about months of your life that's going to go into finding, selling, allowing people through your home, which is obviously more of a concern these days than what it has been previously. So trust is a really, really valuable part of the process that you have to go through when picking an estate agent to be your letting agent or sales agent. And I think when you do a bit of fact finding, a little bit of prep work, a bit of research, I always say look at people's Google reviews, look at their Facebook reviews, look at how they're marketing other properties. Because if you're happy with how they're marketing other properties, hopefully you're going to be happy with how they market yours. If you don't think it's fantastic, the chances are yours won't be fantastic. I would always say that cheap is not always best in estate agency. It's quite a competitive marketplace, and if you go for the cheapest, you're probably going for the worst. So again, it's going to make half a year of your life very stressful. They're the things that I do before, and then when you meet them, it really comes down to trust. Trust and experience is going to be really, really important in that process of making a decision. I think it's important that they know the local area. It's not just something that they've just moved from one office to the next, but they know the bus routes, the schools, they know the coffee shop on the high street that does the best cappuccinos, all these little things that make up a difference when it comes to the experience for the buyer. I think they're all quite important. And obviously they've got, avocados on their logo. That's always a win. But they're the things that I would say there's the old saying, people buy people. I don't think they do. I think people buy trust, and I'd say trust is the biggest thing when it comes down to agency. You've got to have that right gut feeling. Don't risk it with the cheapest if you don't trust them. If the cheapest is the one you trust, by all means go for it. But yeah, trust is the word that I would use frequently in that decision-making process. What's been interesting actually, Akhil, in that whole, you mentioned obviously with you guys at our mortgage broker, is how things have been over the last 3 months with the stamp duty holiday run up. Is that's really brought intensified kind of actions to the industry for brokers, for solicitors, for mortgage advisors. And I think that's going to be interesting over the next couple of months to see people's reviews when they've been at the high pressure. That's going to be really interesting to see. So check out everyone's reviews. Make sure you're buying into good reviews, I would say as well. I think it's probably
No, I certainly agree with that. And we send a Trustpilot link to all our clients following our services, and all we want is honest feedback. And we ask for honest feedback because there's always ways to improve our services or our processes and so on. Sometimes we're in the hands of the agent or the surveyor firm or the legal firm or the bank in itself. So I always ask for feedback, and so do our specialist advisors as well. Ask for feedback from our clients, because our clients are our bread and butter. For us, it's all about generic organic growth. If we provide good service, there's no doubt they're going to promote us and refer us to their family and friends, business colleagues, and so on and so on. So it's imperative that we do a good job. And there's a famous saying, if you think it's expensive to hire a professional, wait till you hire a unprofessional. About the experience. So I do love that saying. I really, really do. Ellen, over the last 12 months, what sort of trends have you seen in the market in terms of buyers? Are they looking for, traditionally they're looking for a 3-bed house and they used to work in central London, Are you finding a lot of people are buying properties with the intention to work from home because we've seen the trend at the moment? Are they looking for extra space?
Yeah, I think there's been quite a few sort of buying trends that has shifted slightly. One of which being people are looking once again for kind of more rooms in a house, i.e. you've got, 2 people buying, both of them are probably working from home now. So, one open plan downstairs and 2 bedrooms upstairs just isn't enough for them. They need that extra space so they can both work from home without getting on top of each other. Throw some, children in the mix as well. And you need that playroom, just to everyone have their own space again. So I'm finding that with a lot of people, if you've got space in the garden or already a home office or a studio out there, that's just a huge selling point for people.
Yeah,
that's been a big one. The other, obviously, with apartments, people moving from apartments because they want that outside space now. I think, they've kind of learned the hard way, being stuck inside for 6 months or whatever. The value in just being able to open your door and straight out into something, so it's quite invaluable for people. And then the other one, used to get so many people that needed to be a 5-minute, 10-minute walk from the station because they were commuting into town every single day. Well, now they're not, they don't need to be quite that close. So that's opened up quite a wide bracket for people, which is good. And I think more helpful as well, because you just tend to get that little bit more for your money in the house when you're not right on top of convenience in all aspects of the word.
Yeah, no, those are very, very good points there. A lot of our clients at OMB are buy-to-let landlords, and their focus is always to buy further properties to add to their portfolios. The trend we're seeing at the moment is, there's not enough stock available on the market, unfortunately, over the last sort of 30, 60 days or so. Ian, any chance you can get some more stock on the market, please? We've got lots of clients wanting to buy.
Well, let me know the hot list, what they're after. And I think another thing we're a bit different is we do quite a lot of transactions off market. It's not just a need to put it on Rightmove and wait for the telephone to ring. So if there are, portfolio landlords out there or people looking to grow their portfolio for the first time, get in contact with us. Let us know what the sweet spot is, what exactly they're looking for, and we'll help them. We will help them. Love to get more properties on the market. At the moment, with the stamp duty holiday, we're trying to get them all through, exchanged, everyone happy and saving their thousands. But on that point, actually, what we found probably in the last 3 months compared to the 3 months prior is a massive increase in buy demand for apartments. And I think from what Ellen mentioned about people feeling the need to open the doors into green space and get out of their rental property when it was an apartment, we saw so much of that. And now people are really in a position where they're seeing the market. It is so cheap to get a mortgage that apartments are actually really quite buoyant at the moment. So I think that could be first time buyers that are now getting their 10% deposits at cheap rates. And I think it's also a combination of buy to let buyers. In fact, I'm a bit of a geek for trends, and I was looking at Google searches last month, and in terms of property typed into Google, one of the most frequent questions asked is, how do I buy a second property? So it might be a sign of what the second half of the year does around buy to let demand, potentially going to go through the roof, I think.
Yeah, no, good point. And a lot of time, we say to all our clients, don't wait for a property to come onto Rightmove or Zoopla or the like. Contact agents in the areas that you want to buy. I always tell my clients, speak to the agent, explain to the agent what type of property you're looking for. You're looking for, a 2-bed, 3-bed, a 5-bed house, an apartment, and so on and so on. Because the agent, for example, Ian and Ellen, if I want to list a property for sale tomorrow, you're going to come on a Monday, do the videos, do the marketing. It's probably not going to go live until Wednesday or Thursday, right? Once it's the portals. Whereas if the agent's got his black book of clients ready, knowing what the client wants, he or she can pick up the phone to them and say, listen, would you like to get into early doors? There's a property available. It's going live on Wednesday. Would you like to view it a day earlier? Does that work? Should people be doing that? Am I saying the right thing to our clients?
I think so, Ellen. Would you agree? I would say so.
Yeah. Absolutely. We always, know what's coming on, if not a week or two in advance of it hitting the portals and things. So if you're a serious buyer with all your ducks in a row ready to go, then befriend your local agents for sure.
Perfect.
We've had,
I
was going to say on that as well, Akhil, we've had a property that came on live, that was coming live yesterday, that we were doing the photos on in Warfield, 2-bedroom house. And all we did was just an Instagram reel for 15 seconds. So if anyone's following our Instagram page, they'll see that we've obviously got a property coming live. I think we did a Beat the Portals on Facebook as well. We've got 4 viewings lined up for that. We don't even have a price on it yet from the client. There's a teaser basically. So there's benefits in following the social platforms for us, most definitely. And like Ellen says, it's a great way to befriend, again, trust, build the trust with an agent, even if you're buying rather than selling. So we know what they're looking for, and then we can help them efficiently. And it has to be two-way. It can't just be take from the buyer. You've got to communicate with the agent, make sure you respect their time as much as your own, I would say.
Yeah, and I totally agree. And for those investors out there watching us right now, get in touch with local agents like Ellen and Ian, explain to them the type of property you're looking for, and and do that on the first and foremost, but also engage with brokers like us, understand the affordability, understand how much the rent roll can generate in terms of a buy-to-let loan. So you're lining up the ducks, as Ellen said, you're lining up the ducks in advance of finding a property. And then when you find that property, it's easy to hit the go button and get things moving quickly and smoothly as possible, and beat the stamp duty. And that leads nicely onto the stamp duty. So we've got the stamp duty ending in 6 days. No doubt you've got many properties waiting to complete over the next 6 days, and likewise so have we. We've got mortgage offers and numerous, quite a few millions of pounds worth of mortgages outstanding, which we're hoping that our clients can complete at the end of this month. With the tapering ending in June, there is still a stamp duty incentive still lying in the background up to the end of September. If anybody that is watching this, for more information, do get in touch with us and we can tell you a bit more about that. But again, it's quite openly available on the government's SDLT website as well. Ian, what's your thoughts on the tapering of stamp duty? What do you think is going to happen going forward? And do you think the government should do more to help people get on the ladder?
2 things. I'm looking forward to it. hitting the 1st of July.
You can breathe.
It's my daughter's birthday on the 1st of July, so I'm looking forward to my daughter's birthday, but also having a day off because I think I've probably earned it this month. It's been hectic. I mean, I've had solicitors on the phone crying to me, buyers stressing, owners, kicking up a fuss. Obviously, brokers and agents and solicitors have all been doing everything they can. Removal companies, I feel for those guys. I mean, they're earning good money, I'm sure, but there's a lot of stress on their plate at the moment. For the people in the trades, very busy at the moment, and the economic element of completions is inevitably going to bring a lot of trade business to the local trades. So enjoy that process over the next couple of months. So I'm looking forward to that. I do think it has probably given the government a catapult to potentially look at a total reform on it. I think it clearly is. Having no stamp duty is an enabler for people to move. And if that's what the economy needs to keep it pumping and keep it going, then why are we creating a stop? Why are we stopping people from being able to move? I saw that it potentially can bring in per transaction something like 10 to 20 grand's worth of economic turnover from each completion. So I think from the government's point of view, there's a case for a reform on it. Obviously, we're not going to see that happen anytime soon, but maybe around the next election, that might be something that's in some people's marketing spiel, if you like, for the government election. So, yeah, need a reform. I think it's been really good to bring the market to a point where it's been so active. But I think also the lenders have done their part in that, in keeping the market going, because the rates are so cheap. So I don't think it's just going to fall off the cliff afterwards, because the amount of transaction that we've got probably over the last 8 weeks, it's not relevant to the stamp duty threshold ending, is as active as it was the 8 months before while the stamp duty was fully active. So it's been good. People have saved a lot of money. It's been stressful. Solicitors, hold in there. You're nearly there. And for us at Avocado, we got most of the stuff through last week, but we've still had a few tears on the phone from people. So it'd be interesting to see what the second half of the year does.
Yeah, so you're 100% right. And what we're doing at the moment, we are ensuring that the banks can release the funds. They want to complete before the 30th of June. So our task for this week as mortgage broker is speaking to all our mortgage offered cases, understanding when they need to complete, and ensuring that the solicitor, i.e. the conveyancer, is requesting the certificate of titles in enough time to draw down those funds. And for people out there who are viewing, to draw down funds, it can't be done from requested at 9 a.m. on a Monday and then completing at 12 o'clock on Monday afternoon. It doesn't work that way. But again, you need to have trust in the conveyancer. You need to have open dialogue with the bank, the mortgage broker as well. And it's a genuine 4 live cases as of this morning. The bank said they can't release the funds before the 30th, but as brokers with connections within the bank, and I'm not trying to blow our own trumpet, it does pay dividend when you know the right people that can not get you ahead of the chain, don't get me wrong, but can influence things to help one another. And as I said at the beginning of this video, it's all about working collectively, because most of our transactions are parts of chains, and the last thing you want to do is to break a chain and everything to break down, and that's not a nice feeling to have, especially if you're joining that ladder as a first-time buyer or a newly married couple with a kid now, and so on and so on. On the 1st of July, you want to move into that property with smiles and not a Kleenex tissue. Ellen, what's your thoughts on house prices? Are they going to continue to go up, remain steady, or come down?
I mean, the deadline for the stamp duty, granted it's moved once, but the demand for people looking to buy and looking to put their houses on hasn't slowed down. And so, someone looking to put their house on 2 weeks ago wasn't trying to meet any kind of stamp duty deadline. People have had the last 18 months to really look at where they're living and pick all the faults in it and realise all the things that they don't want, and find kind of it's given them time to look and think, I'm not going to sit through a load of building work, let's leave where we are now, find onwards. And I just don't think there's any slowing down of that. People have been able to save an awful lot of money, those that have been fortunate enough to keep working. Disposable income, gone up. They're all sat with money they never had before in savings, and it's given people the ability to move. So, I don't think that kind of supply and demand issues that we've currently got are going to all of a sudden stop in a week's time. It's going to sort of carry on in the same vein.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I totally agree. Ian, do you want to add anything there?
No, I'm in agreement with that. I think even the people that aren't working, I think when you talk to people that are retired, drawing pensions, drawing dividends from shares, stocks and shares, people haven't been able to go on holiday and spend the money they were spending before. And, if they are a retired couple, they've not been able to take the family for, for big Sunday roasts and things like that. So people have really saved a lot of money over the last 18 months. And I mean, you're the better man to say it, but you can get mortgage rates at under 1% at the moment, from my understanding, which
it's phenomenal. Yeah, 99. There's a few lenders out there offering these lovely but crazy rates. But we speak to all our clients. It's all about affordability. But first and foremost, before you go shopping for a property, if you want to go to Westfield, you need to ensure how much money you got in the bank. Ellen's probably looking at a new bag or a pair of shoes or whatever. But the key is you need to understand the affordability. How much can I borrow before I go out and contact Avocado to go and view a property? So, my advice to those viewers out there, especially those first timers, is, check your credit file, engage with a good independent mortgage brokerage like OMB, and then speak to reputable agents like Avocado Property to explain the type of properties you're looking for, so then they can keep you on their shortlist to as and when properties come up. And the advice I give to all our clients, do those things that are just as above, but also register yourself with Rightmove in Zoopla and get those alerts sent to you. So it saves you strolling through every morning. As soon as a property goes live, you get the alerts, and then you can make the necessary arrangements to view those properties. I think we've taken up enough of your time. I'm sure you've got work to do, and so have we. It's 5:02. Ian, do you want to leave us with anything from your end?
I was just going to briefly touch on a point you mentioned earlier about brokers, because obviously I appreciate you having us on, but what I've found over the last 8-10 weeks with the stamp duty is how much value there is in someone getting a mortgage with a broker compared to going direct to the bank. And I spoke to someone maybe last week who said, I've always gone direct. What's the benefit of not going direct? And I've really explained to him that in the stamp duty, the amount of people that have gone direct that are going to miss out on the threshold because they don't have direct access to the underwriter like you do, it really did make a game-changing difference for the people that have got good brokers, that have got good relationships with their BDMs. So if anyone's watching this now and they think, oh yeah, brokers do this, brokers do that, the amount of value that you get from having a good mortgage advisor at the moment is just as high as it's ever been, because it's so difficult to get through to the bank if you haven't got that direct line, the bat phone to call. And you guys do have the bat phone to ring. You can get straight there to a BDM. It makes my life easier. There you go, straight on direct dial. So if you're thinking of getting a mortgage, talk to these guys. They do an awesome job, and it makes a big difference for us as estate agents to call the broker rather than calling the buyer who can't get hold of the lender. So yeah, that's the only thing I'd sum up on.
No, I agree. And the other thing I would like to say is, a lot of the mortgage lenders out there, the end consumer like you and I that are looking to buy that property or take out the mortgage, you can't go direct to. A lot of lenders you have to go through an intermediary. And the better part of it is we've got access to such a wide range of lenders, and who's got the time to go to 20 banks or 40 banks to explain your income and expenditure, where we can do it in one shot. Why would you not? And I can't stress enough, use a mortgage brokerage that has got experience, knows how to obtain those relevant mortgages, and understand what the end goal is, because what we want to do is work with you. So we're not transaction led, we want to build the relationships, and a lot of our clients actually become friends of ours. We eat wine and dine with them, we play golf with them, and so on and so on. And that's what it's about. It's a happy, healthy relationship. Ellen, do you want to leave us with anything else?
I think something that we touched upon earlier is really just get your ducks in a row, before, especially buyers going out there looking to book viewings and things. If you don't know how much you can afford, there's no point. Not many agents are going to waste their own time, let alone yours, showing you around houses if you've not spoken to and engaged in a broker yet. And the same goes for sellers as well. By all means, get the valuation, work out what you might be working with, but you need to engage in a broker as well. I think that's kind of point number one, first place to start.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And how can they get hold of you, Ellen and Ian, if they wanted to reach out to you guys at Avocado? What's the best way?
Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, WhatsApp,
Yeah,
email,
WhatsApp,
whatever works for them.
Yeah, you guys are all over.
Yeah.
Just search for that. No, that side. StreamYard's the other way around. Search for that, and yeah, you're up and running. Basically, slap it in Facebook, slap it in Google, Avocado Property, and you'll get through to the right person one way or another.
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you, guys, and thank you for those listeners and viewers out there. We are your specialist mortgage brokerage here at Our Mortgage Broker. We're going to be doing a lot more videos like this. If you're watching us on Facebook, head over to our YouTube channel, and we've got numerous other videos with a lot of other professionals in the property and finance space. So do look out for videos. Do subscribe to all our social media channels at Our Mortgage Broker, at Avocado Property, and we look forward to seeing you all soon. Ian, thank you so much. Ellen, thank you so much, and we look forward to working with you guys again. All the best.
Cheers, Akhil.
Bye.